So yes, once again, welcome. My name is Anna and I'm going to take you through this masterclass. So let's dive into it. And just to give you an idea of the time, we are going to spend about 90 minutes together, and we're going to start with a bit of background, like who am I, what are we going to do, what is this? And then we're going to go to the actual workshop content, which is like the meat, the juicy part. And then I'm going to spend about 5 minutes to talk about my program offer. And I have a special offer for you guys who are joining the masterclass in case you want to work with me. And at the end, I set aside 20 minutes for Q&A. Maybe it will be less, maybe it will be more, but that's the plan. So yes, let's do it. And what are we going to discover today? So I want to share what is actually important to a high value woman. Like, what is she looking for? Who is she, and what does she desire in a man? You know, what is important to her? And then the big part of the workshop is going to be the 3 secrets to attract and keep a high value woman, so that you can implement these tips today. There's simple things that you can do to become more aware of this. And I say also to keep, because this is not necessarily for singles only. It's for any man who feels like either he has a relationship with a high value woman or he wants to call her into his life. And, you know, someone who wants to optimize the way he relates and connects and date, because nowadays there's a lot of time wasted on online platforms and unaligned connections, you know, and disappointments. And how can we be more smart in the way we date? And I believe that everything comes back to ourselves, and we can actually create a lot from just like shifting our own energy. So we're going to go into that. And first, I would love for you to share if you have a friend who would benefit from this and who might want to join this. Simply copy the link here in the chat and send it to them. Send it on WhatsApp or Facebook or anything, because this is an open, free masterclass for anyone. So if you're like, oh, actually, I have a friend who would benefit from this, you can send it to them now. Okay. All right. Why can I not present? I'm like sweating, guys. Seriously. So all this technical. Okay, and now my chat is gone. So all right, let's work with this. So before we get into it, I want to just share how can you get out the most of this masterclass. And even if I'm the one talking, I would love for you to be present with me and engage. And I will ask you some questions along the line. Yes, there's the chat. So I ask you to have a white belt mentality, because I know that some of you, you know, you're already in the personal development space, in the tantra space, and like work on yourself. And I just ask you to have a white belt mentality. And what it means is that we have the mindset of I know nothing. So when we go into something and we're like, oh, but I already know that. I know that. Like, we block ourselves from actually receiving something new and like making shifts within ourselves, even if we know it. Like, there's always some nuance that you can grasp and that you can find value in. So white belt mentality, and also be engaged. So please communicate with me in the chat box and ask questions at the end, and take this time and be present. So, okay, I know some of you are traveling, you're doing stuff, but take this time and invest in yourself, and for once be present in this kind of environment. So yes, a little bit about myself. I'm Anna Eden. I'm a dating and intimacy coach, and I support high achieving men to unlock their next level as lovers and leaders, because to me it's really connected. Becoming a leader in your own life is like becoming a leader in the bedroom. It's the same thing, and it influences each other. So yeah, I work with men to really get to the next level and feel more connection and have deeper intimacy and have better sex and find a dream partner and really tap into this energy of alignment and purpose and step into their power. And I'm really passionate about seeing men stepping into their power because I see so many before and after. For example, I have a friend in the Netherlands and he was like into meditation and a little bit curious about tantra, and we're just friends. It's not a client of mine, it's just a friend. And I saw him recently and I see that he was just like, whoa. He quit his job, from the army, and he starts to travel to India, and he's actually come to Bali, and he's just like living his purpose. He's doing photography now. He's like, fuck it. And it was just so amazing. I saw him this summer and it was just like so amazing to see the shift in him, because he's like took leadership of his own life, and he's in he's mastering his sexual energy, and he knows what he wants. And he said so many women are like running after me now, and I could see it. Like, it's beautiful to see the shift. And I love to support men as a woman because I can bring the female perspective. I can be this female sidekick in their life and like bringing the female perspective, because I know what women want and I know how we work and I know what it takes sometimes. So that is my specialty. And just a little bit about myself. I don't want to make this about myself, but just to give you an idea, like my life, I think this was 2004. I used to be very different. And around 2004, I lived a life where, alcohol was the fun in my life. I was like an angry feminist, like fighting for women's rights. And I had codependent relationships. I was really like clinging on to men and so scared of being abandoned. I had like no life force energy in my body running. And happiness was like having a boyfriend to me. I feared change. I feared being left. I feared being hurt. And I didn't know anything about polarity. Or like, what it actually means. So, and sex was good, but like not spiritual and not ecstatic. So that was my life. And it's been a journey. It's been a hell of a journey. With, like, to summarize it, it was like studying abroad, and it was a big breakup, and I entered the dance scene, started dancing kizomba, started walking on my spiritual path, and be open to these little clues. Like when you are on a spiritual path, like someone's just like mentioning a book to you, or like, oh, join this masterclass, or it's like all these little clues that's meant for you. So I follow that. Being more healthy, learning about tantra, yoga, meditation, sexual liberation, went to, sex positive places in Amsterdam, and just like lived out everything. I did plant medicine, and I finally connected to my life force. So I know this is possible, and I just want you to know that I have been on a journey myself. It's not like I've always been like this activated and connected and like so open with sexuality. It's been a journey. And right now, alcohol is not really my life. I'm a recovering feminist, as I call it. And I'm loving myself first. And relationships for me is growth. It's growth and co-creation. It's not codependency. I have life force activating my body always. For me, happiness is fulfillment from inside. And I love change. I'm aware of polarity, and sex is a spiritual and ecstatic practice for me nowadays. So this is just short about my own journey and transformation. And by the way, Nate, thank you for the comment. Thank you so much. I see it in the chat box now. And welcome the new participants. So let us all take a deep breath. So inhale. Exhale. So let's dive into this now. So far, can you just type in a comment if you're with me, if you're here, if you're present, it makes sense what I shared so far. So just type yes, so I can see feel a little bit of your energy. Congratulations on your journey and your consciousness journey. Yes, Raphael, thank you. And thank you for seeing me. I know you know me for years, so you've seen my journey in real time. Yes. Okay, beautiful. Okay, let's dive into it. So I'm curious to know first from you guys, when we talk about a high value woman, like what comes to mind? What kind of characteristics do you see? What kind of person is she? Like, drop some words that come to your mind when you think about like a high value woman, what it means to you. It can be just one word, or yeah. My soulmate. Yes. Okay. Anything else that comes to mind? Is that her name? I guess so. Yoga. Interesting. Okay. Maybe a woman who does yoga or who's in that awareness and practice. Healthy, tantric. Yes. Love it. Anything else? Okay. Christian. Okay. Right. Yeah. So I think beliefs. So obviously it's up to each and every one to define what a high value woman is, but I made an attempt to actually summarize what I think it's somewhat objective, and then I added my own spice to it. So I think that high value woman has confidence, like she walks through life with confidence and also independence. She can take care of herself, and she's strong, and she has her own life and her own goals, and she doesn't necessarily need anyone. She doesn't need anyone to be codependent with, but she needs the man, but she is still independent. Intelligent, and also emotional intelligent, to be vulnerable and speak your truth and open your heart, And also she has an inner strength. She's walking on her path, and she's dedicated to her purpose, and she has maybe a lot of life experience, so that create a lot of strength for her. And I would say high value woman who is spiritual and who is feminine and has a conscious lifestyle, so we add some layers to it. In my opinion, I see that she understands her worth. She totally understands her worth, and she loves to be led. It's interesting that you also say that she's a leader. Yes, beautiful. But she also loves to be led, and she operates with high integrity. So there's no room for dishonesty or some games, or like not being fully in your truth. And she wants the time you spend apart and the time you spend together to be clear and to be of quality. So imagine you're dating someone, you're in a relationship with someone, when you are not together, like make that time precious and high quality, and cherish that, and not like texting like I miss you, like no, like make that time quality at quality time. And also when you spend time together, like make that very intentional. So you spend time together, it's very intentional, it's very present. So that's also something I think is a characteristic, or is the part of this woman. And she has a purpose higher than herself. There's something in her life that she's like, she wants to make the world a better place in some way. And she can access both her feminine and her masculine energy in a healthy way. So she has this inner union within herself, which means she can also be a leader. She can also lead you if she needs to, or if she wants to. And she has a deep longing for trust and surrender. She's looking for this support and for this container where she can be in her feminine, and she can feel that she's safe there. And she's looking for a partner. She's not looking for a dad. She's not looking for a friend. She's not looking for a lover. She's looking for a partner. Yeah, keep the words coming. I love this goddess energy and everything that comes up here. All right. Okay, type yes if this makes sense, and please, if you want to add something, I would love to hear it. And this is my list, like it's not like a universal list, but this is how I see it. And it's also not based from me, my world. Okay, great. So what is this woman looking for? What is important for her when she's looking for a man, when she's in a relationship? So I summarize some points here. I think that she's looking for a man who has purpose and direction. So she wants a man who's, okay, he has a purpose. He's going somewhere in life. He serves a higher purpose. And he also has a direction to his purpose. So it's not like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that. But there's no like energy forward. There's no direction. Because when he has a purpose, when he has direction, she can feel safe that she can lean into that, and he's got it. And then the second is he's got his shit together, and it's simply about having finances and jobs and the life together, living arrangement. It's also a matter of safety for a woman to be with a man who has this kind of security for himself. So that's something we look for sure. And someone who is a natural provider and giver, but without being a people pleaser. It's not about, take everything. And so not being a people pleaser, but who is a natural provider, who's like, hey, I want to provide for my woman. This is an energy that will attract her. And someone who has integrity, as we talked about, and boundaries. And we're going to go into the boundaries soon in this class. And she looked for someone who can support her goals, who can see her goals and her purpose and support her in that, and maybe give her advice, or maybe just hold space for her, and maybe just support her goals and be interested. And of course, this goes both ways. And she's looking for someone who is constantly committed to his growth. So someone who sees a therapist or a coach, or ideally both. Like I tell clients sometimes, like, you should go and see a therapist, because I'm not a therapist. Like having a coach is like a privilege. It's luxury, but sometimes we need to go and see a therapist to deal with all the like old childhood things and like really go deep into the things to heal. So to have support on your journey, to always have some kind of support for your personal growth. And then someone who has charm, and this is a big one. This is actually a lot of times when we talk to each other, like women or with male friends, like, okay, but this guy, he has everything, and he looks so good. And like, why doesn't he make it happen, And it's actually many times it's like a lack of charm. And charm isn't rocket science. Charm is just to make us laugh. Like we want to feel like, like giggle, we want to feel surprised, or I want to feel like a girl, So charm, just make us laugh and don't be so serious all the time. that's like a whole course itself, I think. How can you start to apply this? And she's looking for someone who holds the vision and direction. So he holds the vision for the relationship and the direction they're going. Doesn't mean that he's deciding necessarily where they are going, but he makes sure that he's holding it. And he prioritizes his health and hobbies, which is also connected to boundaries, which we're going to go into later. Please type yes if this makes sense to you, and please also type if you feel like you want to add something or something comes up to you. Also reading your comments. She's looking to feel complete. Yeah, I love that. Like she's her own vessel. She's her own entity, right? And she's not seeking to be complete with someone else. She's already complete. That's a good point. She's looking for yin to her yang and yang to her yin. Okay, beautiful. Yes, I am all that. Beautiful. I love it. Yeah. Okay, so now we go into the secrets. So I'm going to share my 3 secrets with you on how can you then attract this woman, or if you're already in a relationship, how can you keep this like high vibe relationship, and how can you step into the best version of yourself to make this a very conscious, healthy, and high vibe relationship. So my first step is to manifest and raise your vibration. So I'm going to share with you how and exactly what I mean by that. And first of all, I want to ask you, does anyone knows what this means? Abracadabra. No, I misspelled it. I say it should be abracadabra. So type in the comments if you know what it actually means, because this is what we used to do when we were kids, right? Like abracadabra is like magic. So yeah, it is magic. It is magic. It is creating magic, and it actually means I will create as I speak. So we create our reality with our words and our thoughts. And maybe this is something where this like comes in like, yeah, I know that. But do you practice it? So we get to look at what we speak, what words we speak, and what thoughts we think in our head. Like that gets to be our reality. So I think I just want to send this out to whenever we work with manifestation, you know, it's important to, like, if I want to be in a relationship and I'm like, there are no good men out there, everyone is taken, or it's so hard to find someone. It's so hard to find a good man, a man who is just, I will create that reality and I will only see this around me. So be careful what you wish for. Yes, thank you for sharing that, Nate. So my point is that we don't go and find a partner. We become an energetic match to the frequency we are calling in. And this is with everything in life, right? So instead of like going like finding a partner, like how can we step into the best version of ourselves and be ready to call in this match for us? So my question to you is like, who is your ideal partner? Who are you actually calling in? If you're single or if you're in a relationship, like what is it that you love with the relationship that you want to, you know, maintain, that you want to nurture in your partner? So yeah, I would love to hear if you want to share some words about what is important to you in an ideal partner. What comes to mind when you think about who you are calling in? Or even if you're not like looking for a relationship right now, if you were looking for a relationship, what would be important to you? So I would love to hear that. Natea says, calling goddess Shakti herself that I can serve for in love. Okay, beautiful. Yes. Anyone else who wants to share? She is everything you describe about high value lady. She has one more essential attribute. She's a living goddess. Yes, there is a lot of goddess talk here. I love it. She's vegan. She does yoga. Okay, beautiful. And yeah, you can keep the comments coming and I will just continue. So where focus goes, energy flows, right? So when we focus on something, the energy will be concentrated there. So if we focus on a problem, we will get more problems. If we focus on what we don't have, we're going to see more of what we don't have. So this is a process that I do with my clients, and I'm going to just share in very, very, very short how I do this, because the first step is actually to get really clear on what you are calling in and what this woman looks like and feels like and how your relationship will be like. This is a very crucial steps. Like if we miss these steps, we can also miss a lot of time. And the first step is basically to write the list of your ideal partner. You know, what does she look like? What does she do? Yeah, she does yoga, she's tantric, she's been to Bali, she can accept herself and have self-acceptance, la 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 la. And then the trick is also to divide this list into non-negotiables, which is the top. Like, this is, I'm not negotiating on these things. Like, this needs to be, and for example, one non-negotiable thing can be wants to have a family. I know people who split up, like they have amazing relationships, but one wants a child and the other one doesn't want a child. And then there's no alignment, right? So we get to look at the non-negotiables. What is a non-negotiable for me? And then we have a list of nice to haves, negotiables. Like, it's not crucial, but that's what I desire, you know? And this, just creating this list, as I said, abracadabra, as we speak, as we talk, as we put words into existence, we also create this reality. So that is the first step. And the second step is, that's what I like that, Raphael, you said, I am all that, because it's about checking in with yourself. Like, how much of this do I embody? I mean, if your ideal partner is like, oh, she's so fit, she goes to the gym every day, she's like tantric, and you're like, you haven't done anything of that and you never go to the gym, like, you also have to be a match for this person. Doesn't mean that you have to be the same as her or him. I'm going to say anything, but I'm just going to say her now for the simplicity. And doesn't mean that, but how can you also make sure that you live up to this list? She dances, contact improve. Yeah, I think it's more people in this group who decides that. Beautiful. And then the last step in the manifestation exercise is to actually sit with this list every day. Like, you do your morning routines, your daily practice, and can you sit with this and read it and feel the energy of this woman that she's already in your life, because she is. Like, that's how we create a reality. We feel that it's already here. So that is my tips for that. And then when we have clarity on this, then we have to make sure to vibrate high because, you know, we have to maintain this high vibration inside of us and around us. And how can we do that? To keep a high vibration, practicing gratitude is very powerful. You can just say out loud every morning, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful for this. Or you can write it down and immediately you'll feel this like love flowing in your body. And it's so simple. It's so simple and it's so powerful. And meditation, to sit in silence sometimes, to really let go of the mind completely. How many in here has a daily practice with some kind of meditation or movement or journaling? Write me if you have some kind of daily practice. Yes, me. Yeah. So that's also a way to keep yourself in high vibration, and then surround yourself with positive influences. Like, who are the people you follow on Instagram? Who are the people you're hanging out with? What do they make you feel? And, you know, sometimes we have to remove people from our lives, and it's not like they did anything wrong. It's just like right now, it's not the right vibration for you. And look at the people, like the relationship that your friends have around you. You know, it's the same thing with money. They say, like, if you want to make money, hang out with people who are millionaires. Like, hang out with people who have beautiful, conscious relationships and who are like high vibe, you know? So you go into that energy yourself. And yeah, number 4, take care of your physical health. Like, that's, of course, vibration is also inside the body, what we eat, what we put into our bodies, the water we drink. So how can we vibrate high if we're not taking care of our health and our body? It's super important. And then number 5, set intentions. What's your intentions going forward? And also I would say actually be intentional with everything, because when we start to be intentional, there's also a way to focus the energy on something, focus and let the energy go there, instead of just like, I'm just going to swipe on Tinder, or I'm just going to go on date with this woman, but I'm actually not feeling it. Like, no, like be very intentional on how you spend your energy and what you want. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. She's strong. Oh my God, so strong and motivate me. Okay. I think you have your whole list soon. She scares me. Okay, interesting. All right, so that was on frequency, and then focus on yourself is actually a key to get to the state. Like, don't forget your things, like be in your purpose, do the things you love, don't skip anything. Like, put your own mask first, like before you help others, right? It's the same thing. Like, how can you really nurture all of your hobbies, what you love, like your friends? That's the place you're actually going to attract someone. Okay, so that was number one, and we're going to go to number two now, which is master your sexual energy. And yeah, for you who know me, you know that this topic is like, I'm very passionate about sexual energy, and this is a lot what I teach and what I help my clients with. So master your sexual energy. Let's see. So what is sexual energy? Life force energy, kundalini energy, or kundalini sexual energy, it's basically the same thing. And I describe sexual energy as the little, or life force energy, like the little engine inside that's like makes me creative and activated, and like have very, very close relationship to pleasure. Like, pleasure can come very fast, and like well-being and ease, you know. And yeah, it's really to invite the magic of life, like to accept that there is magic in life, and to believe in that, and to live that as well, live with the magic of life. Everything is not planned, everything is not in the mind, everything is not like, you cannot explain everything. And then connect to your intuition. So live closer to your intuition, like be guided from your heart instead of your head. And then also loves to connect with nature more, and also to have endless energy and creativity. And this is what happened to me. And for me, it was through plant medicine that my kundalini just awakened. And since that day, it's been like a love relationship to life, like being turned on by life, like every day. That's how I can explain it. And that's also what I see on my path. Like, I'm not living like everyone else, and I make bold decisions because I have trust in myself. So that's what being connected to life force energy and sexual energy means in the big scale. And one thing that men can do to master the sexual energy is to become more aware how they ejaculate, how they are operating with their seed, because the seed is powerful. It is life force itself. It creates life, literally. So if you spill it through frequent ejaculation that is not creating anything, this will affect your life force and creative power. So you will feel maybe that you're not connected to your purpose. You will feel maybe tired, especially after sex. So there's a lot of different theories or opinions around semen retention, but what I see in my clients and in my past lovers and among all my friends is that it can be very, very beneficial to connect to your sexual energy, so you get to a place where you can control your ejaculation, because then you can choose when to ejaculate. You can choose when you want to release all this life force, and you can also do it intentionally under the full moon or to a specific person or practice. But like, we have a problem today, which is porn. It means that a lot of men and women masturbate in front of a computer and release their precious life force to a screen to then fall asleep and feel like shit, you know? So yeah, a lot of people are addicted to porn. That's the truth. Like, that is reality, and there's also an agenda behind it. I'm not going to go into that. So the key is really to take back your power, not letting any urges control your life, not let porn or fucking screen control your life, or some hot girls on Instagram. So yeah, taking this power back. And when you master your sexual energy and can use it consciously, you aren't just mastering your cock, you are mastering your life. Like, this is the big difference. And it's very, like, a man who can control this, you can feel it as a woman. You can really feel that he's so embodied, and he's like more in his breath, and you can have longer lovemaking, and yeah, it's a big difference. And I think you can also see it in their lifestyle, you know, someone who ejaculates often and not really thinking about it and just like give it away. They also tend to show that behavior in other areas of life, and, you know, maybe not be a leader in other areas of your life. Okay. So, and how can this practice then, if we practice non-ejaculation, impact your relationships and your abundance? Well, you can have longer lovemaking for once, because if you don't need to ejaculate, if you don't have to race to an orgasm, if you take away this pressure, this linear way of making love, there's so much more orgasmic energy and pleasure and connection to be created in the union. So, and when you learn to circulate this energy, so it's about like, okay, when it builds up, you learn to circulate it in your body and then between you and your partner. But this is all, yeah, a whole course itself. Then you can use it to elevate your life. And as I said before, you'll have a more deeper connection. Your lover will feel safe that sex with you is much more than just genital rubbings. It's not just for sex for the bodily pleasure. It's a deeper connection, and it's a deeper merging. So yeah, please type yes if this makes sense so far. And yeah, I'm curious to hear. I'm curious to hear who has intentionally practiced non-ejaculation or semen retention for a period of time. Type I have, if you have that ever. Okay, I did. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I have 1 month. Doing it now. Okay. Great. And what did you notice? Like, what were the benefits that you noticed, or like the big shifts that you noticed, would you say? Too much power. My God form. Okay, beautiful. Right. Yeah. My God form is coming back. Yeah, and as I said before, an activated, or like a woman who is embodied and is tantric, she can feel this. I became King Kong. Okay, beautiful. And I just want to share, here's a testimonial with a man I was working with, and his breakthroughs. And as you see here, he hasn't watched porn since we started, and he has way more discipline than I've ever had sexually. And he used to be a frequent porn watcher and like masturbated every day, basically. And he said that he got better sleep, better focus. He can focus on his creative projects as well as his job. He has like multiple things, this guy. He's like very high achieving man. So yeah. Okay, that was a chapter about sexual energy. And please, if any questions come up, just save them and we can take them at the end. And I'll be happy to respond to any more specific questions. Just going to see the time. Okay, it's good. So my last secret to attract and keep a high value woman has to do with boundaries and assertiveness. So how can you as a man have healthy and clear boundaries, and how can you be assertive? So boundaries, why do we have boundaries? Oh, there's so many things on my screen. Why boundaries? Well, so if we don't have boundaries, we will eventually meet frustration. And what I mean by that is, let's say you walk through life and like you don't really have any boundaries about anything or any relationships, and then you're going to get disappointed because someone at work speaks to you in a negative tone, or your partner just like stays out the whole night without texting you or anything, and you keep on getting like disappointed. How can he treat me like this? How can this happen? But we need to teach other people how they should treat us. So it's our own responsibility. This is radical responsibility to have personal boundaries for yourself in your life, but also in a relationship. And this is very important to talk about if you're entering a partnership with someone. Like, what are your boundaries around this? What are your boundaries around that? So we need boundaries to honor our needs. Otherwise, we're going to go through life and get disappointed and hurt and go into these loops. And yeah, so we teach people what we accept and don't accept. And boundaries create safety. So in a relationship, me as a woman, if a man has very clear boundaries, I feel like really safe, because it's like a wall to bounce off to, like bounce on. It's like, okay, I know like what he's about, what he needs, and like when I can text him, when I can see him, everything. So there's different kinds of boundaries, and I just want to give some examples on these different ones. So physical, emotional, time, financial, digital. And I'd say this is actually a game changer for all kinds of areas in life. Like when you zoom into boundaries and like master boundaries and also conscious communication, I think we can avoid so many divorces and arguments, and because we need to talk about these things. And it's about also being vulnerable and saying, actually, I need this, or this is what I desire. So when we look at physical boundaries, it can sound like, I don't feel comfortable with public display of affection, so let's keep hand holding and kisses to a minimum when we're out in public. So that can be a physical boundary with someone you're dating. And to be very clear on this with a woman, this can be the woman who's saying this, the man who's saying this, doesn't matter. But to be very clear, this like makes you more like assertive and attractive, because you know what you want, you know what's important to you. And emotional boundaries, it could be like, I need emotional support in our relationship, and I'm willing to offer the same level of support to you. So like asking for this emotional support and also show that I'm here for you. That can be a boundary in a relationship. Time boundaries. I value my alone time and need some space to recharge, so I'm going to take an hour to myself after work each day. So imagine if you live together. So instead of feeling that you're hurting each other because you're locking yourself up in your room, or you're heading out straight away to do something when you come home, like if we have different views and we get to talk about this, one partner feels like, oh, they just want to be together all the time, and the other feels like, I actually need alone time to be able to function with you. But do we communicate this? Do we communicate our time boundaries with each other? And this can also be with friends, like it doesn't have to be in a relationship. And then financial boundaries. It could sound like, I understand that we're a partnership and that both of our contributions are important, but I feel more comfortable with you taking the lead financially. So it could be a woman saying this in a relationship. That's her boundary. And it can be scary to say, but when you talk about these things, it's like a freedom. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. And then you can see if you're aligned or not aligned. Money is a very common reason to split up in relationships. Money or sex that's starting to go bad. Okay. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. I don't know what's going on here now, but I don't think there's anything I need to take action on right now. Okay. All right. You go, Nate. And the last one is digital boundaries. So it can sound like, I don't want to receive texts or calls from you after 10 p.m. as I need time to wind down before bed. So imagine a man who actually has this need and is not saying anything, and then he gets like a little bit annoyed, and like you're making harm on yourself, like when you don't speak your boundaries. And it can be simple things like this, but it actually creates a lot of attraction, I would say. Like it creates like someone who has boundaries is very attractive, because like, oh, they know what they need. Great. And with my clients, I work with a model that I came up with myself. It's called a castle, to actually map out everything around yourself. So what you need and what your boundaries are, what you're open for, what you're not open for in different areas of life, but focusing on relationships and sexuality. So this is a very great exercise to do. But yeah, this is what I do inside my program. So the question is, so she wants someone who is assertive and has boundaries. So can you lead her? And then I want to look at the energy, like the feminine and masculine energy. If we just look at these characteristics of feminine and masculine energy, where the feminine is more receptive, intuitive, and radiant, fluid, nurturing, she's flow, she's heart-centered, she's creative. It's more about being and emotions. And notice that we're not talking about men and women, but yeah, naturally women usually hold more feminine energy, men have more masculine energy. But it's in terms of energy we're speaking now. And the masculine being giving and structure and dominance and direction and purpose and assertiveness that we talk about. And it's more the mind, awareness, presence, doing, action oriented. So what I want to say with this is, again, that being able to hold this woman, being able to call this woman in, like how can you show that you have this frame for her? How can you show that you are assertive? And even if you're not, like there's different ways you can practice assertiveness and show, that you have direction, you know what you want. Sometimes we have to fake it till we make it, literally, because the mind takes a long time to change our attitude. So sometimes we get to change the behavior first, and when we change the behavior, the attitude will like follow afterwards. So sometimes just like, going in there, being confident as fuck and like showing what you want, and then even if it's not like full in your body yet, but then it will come to your body. But with this, I want to say, that I dance kizomba, and I think it's a beautiful way to show that, the feminine needs this clear frame in order to express herself fully and surrender. How could she express herself so sensually and confident and clear if she didn't have a good leader, if he didn't hold the container for her to do this? So no woman can dance so good with a leader who's like not so good. It takes a good leader to be a good follower. Yeah. All right. Type yes if you're still with me. And yeah, if it makes sense so far. Yes. Okay. Maybe I have to wait. I don't know how I get out of this loop. Here. Okay, assertiveness. Okay, So assertiveness is sexy. So I want to let you know that there is space for you to take up. A lot of men can take up much more space when it comes to leadership and assertiveness and direction in dating and in relationships. And it's fun to be in this space. And it's fun to see the woman connecting with you in this space. And she wants you to lead her, and she's ready for it. So my question to you is, how do you lead yourself? Like, what's your discipline like, and how do you lead yourself through activities, through your goals, through your days, through challenges, through work? What's your mindset? What's your structure? What's your system? How do you make decisions? How clear are you in your communication? This is also a type of assertiveness, A man who's very verbal, speaks very few words, is like, oh my God, I feel safe with you, and like, I trust you, and like, I want to be led by you. Whereas someone who's more like wishy-washy and more feminine in his expression and never comes to the point, we're not really feeling that. It's not working. So I think this is no news for you, and I think I just want to like make it like very clear with what I mean in some examples of like wishy-washy communication. And there's a lot of high quality men out there who just like, it's just this part that's not really there yet. And that's why I'm also passionate about sharing this, because I feel like there's so much potential if we just become a little bit aware of these things. So when you say like, when someone says like, what's your plan next week? Let's grab a beer sometime. Yeah, what's actually wrong with that? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be wrong, but this woman that we described in the beginning, she's not gonna say yes to this. She's just gonna ignore this message. Same thing, when do you have time for me? It puts the responsibility on her, and there's no intention, and there's no ownership, and there's no like clear intention in it. And the same thing, like, do you want to go for a coffee next week? That's also like, this next week is very broad. A coffee is also like, okay, you can go for a coffee day. That's actually fine, but there's also not like, what is your intention with this? And I asked someone recently who wanted to take me out on a coffee. I asked, what is your intention? And it was like, no one has ever asked that before. And I was like, okay, but to me, it's important because it didn't feel like I was available for a date with him. So I really wanted to know, like, what is your intention? And I can make a decision from that. But when there's a communication like, hey, I find you attractive and would love to take you out to dinner on Friday at 8, how does that sound to you? It is easy for us to say yes. It's easy for us to say yes or no. And it has an intention, And I also understand that it is a date, I find you attractive. I would like to take you out to dinner. It's a date. Clear, assertive. And then, I love your energy and I would love to get to know you better. Can I take you out on a date this Friday? So it's a little bit more, not as direct, but still like, hey, I'm interested in you. And it's also very clear with the intention and also a time, and like a day. And the last one, I love to connect with you, to get to know you better without any agenda. Are you open for me taking you to dinner this Friday? So this is a little bit more vague, like, hey, I want to connect with you, but I'm not sure what I want really. But it's fine because you have said it, So women get really confused when we don't know what a guy wants, and we want to feel this like assertiveness. We want to feel like what you want. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's move on. And this is actually something we tell each other a lot. Like, I love when he takes the lead. And yes, yummy. So that was my 3 secrets. So just to repeat, it was manifest and stay on high vibration. So like get really clear on what you're calling in, and keep yourself in this high vibration to call in this high value woman into your life. And secondly, master your sexual energy, like really work on yourself, stay centered and control your seed, and become more powerful, become a leader in your life, become more conscious in bed, have better lovemaking, and all of those benefits as well. And 3, become very clear on your boundaries, become aware of your boundaries, and show assertiveness in your way of being a man, in your communication. And one of my clients I work with, we work almost only with boundaries. And, you know, in his case, a boundary that he discovered that he had in his relationship was, I don't want to do housework after 10 p.m. You know, and that was something like, it was such a relief for him to communicate this to his wife, because he's like, no, I'm not available for that. Like, that's a boundary for me. So it can be so like small things, but like they make a huge difference when we get to speak them and we become aware of them. So yes, so now I'm going to go in approximately 5 minutes and share my offer to you. I just want to ask for permission. Is this okay for you? Are you open to hear what I have to share about my special offer? Type yes in the comments. I'm open. Okay, the rest of you guys, are you still there? Yes, in the comments. Okay, great. Okay, beautiful. So what now? So let's say you are on this path, you are ready to level up, and you want to call in this woman or a connection relationship, or you're already in a relationship but really want to like make it stay high frequency, high value, high quality. So yeah, what you can do is you can go and implement the secrets alone that I just shared. There's a lot of gold in there, and everything I shared you can zoom into. You can find so much on YouTube. You can find anything. Like, this is actually like, if you just apply this to your life, you can have like a real transformation. So you can do it alone, or you can get personal guidance and accountability, so you can get support to do it. So that's what I'm here to share. So my signature program is a one-on-one coaching program. It's called the Extraordinary Lover Method. So this is to unlock your next level as a lover, connect deeper to yourself, and start living an orgasmic life. So to start having this life force energy flowing in your body, to have more discipline, structure, to have deeper connection, to practice self-love, to become free, to manifest your dream partner. So it's really for someone who's walking on a spiritual path and who's curious about Tantra, conscious relating, and feel like there is more. There is more to sex. There's more to relationships, you know, there's like more to access, and you're ready to do it. So so this is my program, the Extraordinary Lover Method. So it's a 12-week transformational journey where I will guide you to unlock your next level as a lover and a leader in the bedroom and in life, and create extraordinary relationships operating from your highest self through the art of sacred sexuality and conscious relating, so you can live a richer, more rewarding life, feeling deeply connected to yourself and others. So a lot of people go through life, and especially a lot of men, they focus on business, entrepreneurship, and, you know, like make a living, and then they realize, hey, I have this now and it's great, but like, what about this intimacy part? Or what about this like Tantra that people talk about? What about deeper connection? What about this like yumminess in life that, they're missing a little bit? So this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to open doors for these people who are ready for this transformation and who really want to step into feeling more connected to themselves and others. So Okay. Fuck these other men. Okay. 6 months special training. Yeah. Okay, so this is the method I'm using is a journey where we will go through awareness to really look at like where are you now, what is present in your life, and also like look at your past relationships. We're going to look at manifestation and mindset, so the things I went through, but we're going to go much deeper, and it's going to be personal guidance. We're going to look at self-care rituals, because this is also the key to come back to yourself and your own self-love and self-care for yourself. That's going to create the transformation that you want. And then we're going to work with embodiment practices. So I don't only work with like talking. We need to get it into our body. We can't change our body unless we get into the body, right? So it's 12 weeks and it's a one-on-one container. So it's personal coaching, and we will meet approximately once per week on Zoom. So it is online, but there is a possibility to do in-person sessions if you are in Bali, or if I am traveling to your country. I will be in Sweden and the Netherlands in a couple of months, I think. And there's also WhatsApp support in between. So that's something that's very important, that I give my clients opportunities to hit me up if, something comes up, or they want to reflect on something, or they need help, anything. And you will also get a lot of personal tips and advice and tools. It can be anything from like books or podcasts, or different models, like different things that can help you on your journey. And there will be structure in terms of a Google Docs where we have all the resources, all the notes, like the whole program will be there. And I mean, the main thing one of the main benefits is to get this accountability, right? Because when we decide to make a change in our lives, we can do it ourselves. It's just going to take much longer. And yeah, we just tend to not do it unless someone holds us accountable, right? Who can relate to that it's harder to do something when, no one is checking up on us or for following up on something. Yeah, me definitely. That's why I work with a coach myself now, or have been working with coaches before as well. Yes. So if you join this masterclass, the special gift to you is $500 off my package. So how it works is, this is the method I was mentioning. So in the first stage, we'll go through awareness. So what is your current situation? We will look at the old relationship patterns. We will go through, okay, what's your past? Like what did not work out? And how were you in this relationship? Why did you break up? Everything to get like black and white. And we will move into manifestation mindset. So we will get crystal clear on your ideal partner and start calling her in, or upgrading your current relationship. And start creating your reality from within. Start shifting how you are creating your reality with your mindset, with your words, and with your thoughts, and with your body. And we're going to create these rituals. And that's why I asked before, do you have a daily practice? Because this is actually a huge, this very important thing to have if you want to elevate as a person, if you want to step into this new extraordinary lover and become the best possible lover and have a more rich life and attract all the high value women. Yeah, it comes down to having a fucking ritual in the morning. Actually, it's like a big part of it. And embodiment practices. A daily practice is like time where you drop into your body, you do a bit of meditation, maybe breath work. You have a daily practice, you maybe prayer, gratitude, journaling. That's a daily practice. Or you do shaking. And then lastly, embodiment practices. So you will get different practices from me, and I also do bodywork. So if we are in the same city, there might be bodywork included in person in that package as well. So and how it works is that if you're interested, you will book a discovery call, and on this call we will talk about your goals, your challenges, and your needs, and I will see if I am the person to support you on this journey, and what that will look like in detail for you if we would work together. And yeah, so on this call, you will get clarity around your direction, your focus areas, and what steps you need to take going forward, regardless if you join the program or not. So I also want to let you know that there's absolutely no sales pressure on the call. So I only want to work with people who are full body fuck yes. They're ready to invest in themselves. And if it's not that time for you, it's totally fine. But you should at least find out if this is something for you, if you feel a curiosity, if you feel a yes in your body while I'm speaking about this. And based on what we talked about in the whole masterclass. So if you feel a yes, book a discovery call, and I will share the link with you. Let's see if I can pull it up without destroying this. Here. Oh, no. Disappeared. Okay. Chat. There we go. So if you are feeling a pull to level up, becoming an extraordinary lover, have a richer life, and feeling more connected to yourself and others, and if you like my energy and what I teach, book a call and we'll have a 45 minutes meeting, and it's all free, so it will always be beneficial for you anyways. And yes, I can teach you to dance. Yeah, I'm a kizomba dancer and I've been dancing for 10 years. This is also what I do. So if you want to mix in kizomba into this, it's perfectly fine. We can make a special package for you. Yeah, so now it's time for Q&A. So please grab the link. So make sure to book the call for this week. And then you just mention Masterclass to get your 500 off. I wanted to share my screen again because I wasn't done share. Okay, so now, yeah, and this is the link to my, that I posted in the chat as well. And thank you for listening, and thank you for participating, some more than others, in the chat. And so now we've been talking about these codes, or these 3 secrets to attract a high value woman, and what she likes, and what we actually, desire in a man, and what's important, and how sexual energy works, and all these things. Was it something that came up for you that you want to ask or have a reflection on? I would love to hear that. So if you can put in the comments, or if you want, I can unmute you, and you can share talking if you want. So yeah, okay. Please, Rafael, go ahead and unmute yourself, and you can share your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Let me go outside and take some taking the sun. Okay, first of all, thank you for the masterclass.
You're welcome.
You was from a master. Congratulations. I really love the direction really interact.
I think we can't hear you properly. I think your connection is a bit off. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's better. No, you're frozen. Okay, Rafael, make sure your connection is better, and then please come back, okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
it's like on and off, but yeah, okay, let's give it a try.
Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying that congratulations for the masterclass. It was a masterclass indeed, and I really appreciate how the participants react, especially one who was man enough and brave enough to ask for help and recognize the area where he needs support. And that's amazing. So that's the type of person that you're supposed to work with. I don't like the term client. I prefer the term of companion, like a journey companion. And this man was really nice. So if you want even to create a group where we can talk and we can meditate and pray, that's great. That's great. So the title of the masterclass was how to attract and keep the high value woman. Am I wrong or I missed the point?
No, that's correct.
Okay. So during the masterclass, I see more focus on how to attract. And actually, when you already have, okay, I didn't hear enough how you keep it, okay, how you
Right.
keep actually a high value woman. I know you give some tip, but actually, once you already have her, and keeping her, so you have to go to the next level. I understand that logically, when we take classes with you, you can give those tips, but that's the point that I would like to make. And also, how do you treat companion who already have I know that we should start with a white belt. Okay, this is how you said at the beginning. You start as a white belt, but suppose that you have the sun, literally the sun. Okay, and you ask the sun to behave like a sparkle, and start to teach him how to go from sparkle to then to flame, then to sun. But he already is the sun. So how do you? I think for that type of profile, it's kind of hard. So are you offering services where when you're actually the sun, then you take the sun to another cosmic level? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I think I got it right. Like, because this is a class with multiple people, that's why I asked for that. I also asked for that in my one-on-one container, but then obviously I know the person more. I know what level they're on. I know what they, what's in their system already, and we can speak in that language that makes sense to, and with that awareness that is already there. I think it's always good to have a white belt mentality, but I guess it's even more because we're a big group. We're not big, but we're a group, so that's why. That makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't have clearly answer in the case of that type of person. So you speak with a better language, but it's only language. It's vibration. So do you have a design plan for that type of profile?
But which profile are you talking about?
So basically, you coach people. So how will you coach a coach? Or somebody is actually a master, so you just want to go to the next level. So how do you approach that? Because everything that you describe, how a man's supposed to be, a woman, apply that. But there is always more knowledge that you want to gain. So the purpose of life is always evolution. If you don't evaluate, you actually go back.
Yeah.
So when somebody, everything you said for him is normal, but he wants even more because he's supposed to be more and always give more to that high value woman. Do you have a program for that?
Yeah, I mean, if you work with me, we create a program for you, and it's based on your needs and your goals and based on where you are at. So, and this thing, like, okay, how do you coach a master, someone who's already, I don't see it like this. We're all students and we all have our blind spots and we all have our areas to develop. Maybe it's one little detail in this, like one blockage there, or one mindset thing, or one body thing. Like we go in and pinpoint, like, what is it for you that stands in the way for you to create this extraordinary relationship and being an extraordinary lover. And that can happen on different levels. Like, I'm in a coaching program myself where we are all coaches, like coaches getting coached by a coach, and of course it makes total sense. It's not like you're never done, like, so, but it is, if we work together one-on-one, it will be customized to your needs, where you're at, and what your challenges are and what your goals are. That's how I can say it. Yes. Hope that makes sense.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Love your presence. Beautiful. Okay. Okay. Anyone else who has a question, wants to share something before we wrap up? Nate?
Yeah, I might as well ask something. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
The connection is good?
Yeah.
Good connection?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, so say if you're interested in a woman and it doesn't feel natural to talk about talk like general talking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Like, what do you mean, general talking? Small talk, or?
So to talk like, yeah, small talk, like what do you do for work? Da 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 da.
Yeah.
All these kind of stuff. I feel the women I am more attracted to is the women that have strength enough to look in my eyes and feel me. I think that's where I'm like, oh wow, this woman is real.
Yeah.
This woman, she knows what's up. And she doesn't blah blah blah. She doesn't talk too much. She shuts her mouth and she makes me feel her.
Right. Yeah.
And what I also like about that is it scares me. The woman can give like this transmission. She can make me feel her that no, I'm not allowing you to let you in that easy. It's a woman with very clear boundaries, energetic, clear boundaries. She really knows what's up, like potentially, I don't know. So yeah, how to kind of deal with a woman, a strong woman like that, that is like a rebel and is independent. You know what I mean?
Right. And what do you think? What is it that you like with these women? Why do you desire this type of women? What is it that you like with them?
Because I can feel more. I don't.
Okay, you can feel more.
It doesn't have to be processed through the head.
Right. Okay.
And it doesn't have to.
And what is the actual challenge in it? Like, when you say how to deal with them, what is the challenge in dealing with them?
Well, that's not a challenge. I think the challenge is there are other women that maybe become scared of my energy because I don't have a need to talk too much.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
then how to, because I've been, I guess there's, goddesses in all the women. I don't know, but I think so. And some women are maybe not as developed as you, and a lot of women in Bali, and a lot of women in India and Italy and Mexico and Africa. But, some women are, they're a bit more insecure, maybe because of all their pain, maybe because of the society, but then it's easy to project things, towards a person like me that I don't have a big need to talk. I have a big need to feel.
Right. Okay. So that's important to you, to feel someone's energy, to feel someone's being, rather than like going through all this like small talk or like, what do you work with? What do you do? So that sounds to me like a great awareness, and like, you know what you're calling in, you know what you're available for. So I'm curious, what is actually the question? Like, what do you need help with in this term? Is it like
I think the question is more in general sense, because maybe it puts me in a very intense position that I'm not able to calibrate myself into absolutely everyone, because I come with too strong energy. I come with too intense energy, you know? And then, yeah, ideally, I would like to be open to more women. I don't need to have sex with all women, but it's nice to like feel connected and have the ability to calibrate. I don't need one woman, you know, okay, I would like a one wife, you know, that I can dedicate love to and just, you know, have sex with in our paradise and all that stuff. But yeah, it's also nice to see women, even if even they're afraid and they have mistrust in men because of the past.
Yeah.
Because of they got traumatized, because they got raped, because, you know, they have problem with the menstrual cycle and have shame for that. And when they're bleeding, they feel ashamed for that. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessarily like, well, I want the one woman. I think I want to have the ability to see women for the goddesses they are. But some women, they don't even see them themselves.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that pisses me off.
Okay.
Wake the fuck up, bitch. Like, what the fuck? You're a fucking goddess.
Yeah, and you know, it also takes a lot of energy to be pissed off at things that we can't control. So maybe that is the case, that not all women know.
But then they project it towards men, and that's fucked up.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe not.
And you get to be in your own world, you know, and you have strong energy and you want to connect with other energetic women who already see themselves as goddesses. So imagine focusing there. That is your focus, and that's where you want to vibrate, you know. It's not your problem that the world looks like it is and people don't get the traumas. Or what if you pour in your energy into that?
But I think that separates me, you know, that I'm only going to be with the high frequency people in Bali, you know, everybody that does yoga. You know, I think we have to have the ability to see that, you know, every woman out there is a goddess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but it sounds like, yeah.
Not only the ones that do yoga.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I agree, and there's a balance, of course. But I think that seeing the divine.
Rafael, you wanna jump in?
Yeah, okay. I would like to jump
please.
in, brother. That's the thing, brother. There is no high frequency woman in specific place. All human are high frequency, and you interact with what you manifest, so what you are. It's not that a lady you don't know to talk. Man, brother, everywhere you are, you attract what you are. So don't think that you have to go to a specific place to meet the type of person. You can sit on your couch like this. I don't know where you are. You just breathe. I don't know if you're the one who asked about meditation or whatever, but you can just breathe literally. Because all humans are vibration. All humans are about movements. We all know that you're all made from atom and electrode. There is this thing circulated all around. So we are universe in one body. Okay? So what is applying in the cosmic level apply exactly at the human's level. So the way things happen in your body happen in my body, happen in Anna's body, It's just a type of different speed, different. So you just need to vibrate on a frequency where you're gonna match the. It's like a radio. If you keep listening the same fucking shit on the radio, you will have the same type of information. But if you tune to another frequency, you're gonna find other information, and you will get what you want. So, first thing first, you are the sun of your solar system. You. So you say that I'm tired of this. Stop saying that I'm tired of this. You said I'm grateful for this, and I'm even more grateful for this that I really want. Okay? And you will see that you will having a shift. Somebody will ring on your door, and you open that door. You will be Amazon deliver, and when you will see her, you see that will fucking match. Okay? So you, it's like the Christian said, you should say and command. Or Jesus said that I'm not Christian, huh? But Jesus said that if you have faith like a piece of mustard, you can move a mountain. It's alchemy. It's simple alchemy. And in whatever religion people are, they all say that you are made at the image of the Creator. Okay. So that's my point of view. So I want you to expand because you're on a journey to reach your goal. So I want you to say, because you manifest Anna, you manifest me. So you manifest us for us to remind you what you already know. You already know that you don't need to go to Bali. You go to Bali because you want to go to Bali, but not because it's over there that you're going to connect with people like you. People like you are everywhere in the world, brother. Okay?
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup.
One love.
Merci beaucoup. One love, brother.
Peace. One love.
Okay.
Anna, thank you for letting me get in. Peace.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Rafael. And yeah, Nate, how did that land for you?
Yeah, I think I need to watch the replay because there was a lot of gems in what Rafael said there.
Yeah, and I think
Angel Raphael.
Yes, exactly.
I'm
yeah,
a spiritual junkie, you know.
Yeah, right. No, I think he made some good points, that we already have everything, and the more we start to, see the divine in ourselves and in everyone, like that's when it's already here, we don't have to go anywhere. There's no lack, there's no scarcity, I had a very powerful healing session with a very high, like energy person here in Bali, and he taught me really to see the divine in everyone. And after this session I went to dinner, and I went in with, okay, even if I don't find these men attractive or anything or even interesting, I'm gonna see the divine, the kings, the God in them. And it completely shifted everything. My whole vibrations, that I was like glowing. People want to be my friend, take my number, like it was just like my frequency was like higher because I could see the divine in everyone. So I think it's always a reminder, and that's what my whole workshop is about, to find it in ourselves, become it ourselves, and vibrate it, and then we will attract it. That's how it works, and it's there for you already. It's there, it's available.
Yeah, I mean, I've signed up on the pre-call, so looking forward to explore more.
Great.
And,
okay.
I really want to, become a better man.
Yes. Yeah, you are amazing, and I would love to support your journey. So thank you for sharing, everyone. And Yanis, do you want to share something before we end, or are you at the airport maybe still?
He's flying.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for attending. Sorry for going over time. And hope to see you soon. Reach out on Instagram, Anna Eden Coach.
Did I tell you look beautiful today?
You did. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I like your earrings.
Thanks. I love them too. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, and have a beautiful day. Mwah! Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.